Hello, today we're going to talk about a very special place called Magdala, famous as the home or supposed home of Mary Magdalene, and a little town or city that's also called Migdal, which means tower. I'll concentrate in the first of these two in this about Magdala on speaking about a synagogue which was discovered in 2009 beside the Lake of Galilee. Excavations of this particular area are just about complete, but there are other parts of the city that haven't been excavated because they're under different ownership. No feature of the synagogue is more surprising than a rectangular limestone piece of stone which has been carved and which was found in situ on the floor in the middle of the synagogue's main hall. This stone provides evidence for about synagogues that contradicts much scholarship from the previous century. For example, it has the image of a menorah, which is the premier Jewish symbol of the time, and has never before been found in a synagogue so old. Now, a coin was found right in the middle of the floor of the main part of the synagogue, which was brand new and dated to 29 AD, or in the Jewish calculations, CE, which means Common Era. Now, this was deliberately put there, and it indicates the age when the synagogue was completed. Now, the synagogue was restored, renovated even, and improved in about 40 to 43. Just a few years after Christianity really took off in the area, and obviously there was more attendance and attention to the synagogue, and the painted walls, the plastered walls, which were then painted in red rectangles with a little extra black, white, and a few other colours. That was done at about that time. So the interior of the synagogue would have looked very beautiful and rather exceptional. The actual building has a few different sections. First of all, the main hall, which is surrounded by what I call an ambulatory, although some other people call it an aisle, but it goes completely around the outside behind the columns, between the columns and the walls, where people were able to walk around. Now that, in this particular synagogue, they had started to tile with mosaics, but it was never finished. Secondly, there's an entrance section which is also believed to be the study room, because it had a bench along the wall, and it also had a very similar stone, only made out of chalk rather than limestone, and this stone was undecorated. But it's believed that both of these stones had some function in laying out the Torah scrolls for study and reading, of course, or formed the basis of a lectern that was built up on top of it. Now, there was also one more section, a small section, but very important in this particular synagogue, and that was what they call Ha'aron Kadosh, the section where the Torah scrolls were kept, and it was completely tiled with white mosaics, and also there was some painted decorations in this little section. So they were paying particular attention to the care of their Torah scrolls, as the other synagogues of the period would also have done. also done. And now this synagogue is called Galilee style, which was the first century common style, with seating all round, facing inwards, where they would listen to a sermon explaining the Torah reading. Now we know that Jesus spoke in the synagogue at Nazareth and was given the scroll of the prophet Isaiah, which is called the Haftorah, not the Torah. And he read it, explained it in the synagogue meeting, and that is probably the usual procedure in synagogues. Now, let me speak about the stone, and we'll look at each of the sides and top and so forth. Now, it's decorated on 5 sides. On the top, which has a probably very important side, I would think, it has a flower made of 12 petals. 6 of the petals radiate from the centre, and 6 other petals are spread around out in a circular shape. So it's a flower in a circle, or it's a 12-petaled flower, whichever way you want to describe it. And that is the most important item, which you'll be able to pick out here. Now, there are 2 long sides of the rectangular stone, both exactly the same, and they have arcades, columns with arches, and a round symbol which is interpreted as perhaps an incense burner, or there are various other interpretations. One of the things about this stone is it's up to an individual person's opinion as to what it actually means. Now, the back of the stone has 2 sort of wheels that are believed to reference the wheels in the book of Ezekiel. The front of the stone is, of course, very important, and that's where the menorah is found. It's positioned beside 2 amphorae. Now, the discovery of this stone changes how scholars think about first-century synagogues. It demonstrates that Jewish iconography was well developed and used in remote Galilee. It establishes the connection between this building and culture, occultic or religious activity. Synagogues were more than just communal buildings. They were part of Judaism. Furthermore, they were large and substantial buildings, the largest building in each of the towns where they've been found, and so far probably a 7th has recently been found, but certainly 6 first-century synagogues in the Galilee are known.
Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed that video, please press the like button. Also, if you want to be kept up to date with all of our new content, please press the subscribe button. If you find this content interesting and you'd like to find out more, let me encourage you to come over to our website, which is synagogueandchurch.com, and over there you'll be able to find lots of information, and you'll also be able to find some of our books that are for sale there. In those books is loads and loads of more information on these and many other topics. Thanks for watching.